Good morning, everybody. We are here at Unite Studios, excited to be live with you. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Sorry we're a little late. We just had a lot of moving pieces this morning, but I'm really excited to be here talking about all things bridal hair, my favorite products that I use when I'm going to do a wedding, as well as my bridal kit. So as always, I'm just gonna kind of run through it. No model today, so it's just me and you guys. And if you have any questions, just fire away, happy to answer them. Okay, Mike, we good?
We are good.
Okay.
People are signing on.
Perfect. So first, I'm gonna start with what products I use and why. This is not gonna be a full-on, product knowledge class, but just why I pick these pieces, these products in particular. And obviously, most of the time in my situation, I'll do a trial run before I even begin a bride. So I'll know exactly what products I need before I even set out there. The bridesmaids get a little iffy because unless you have time to exactly nail down what looks you're gonna do, you wanna be like overboard prepared for any kind of situation that might pop up. So first of all, let's start with prep, and I didn't even grab it. Do you think you can grab Boosta for me? Yeah. So he's gonna grab it just so I can show you guys, but Boosta Spray is like one of my favorite prepping products. Probably that and You Dry Clear, thank you, Mike. Depending on what situation I'm walking into. So if we don't do a lot of washing, shampooing, or any of that when we go to do a wedding, obviously. So sometimes I have to kind of fake the shampoo. So if someone's hair is really flat and maybe too clean, I will go in with the Boosta Spray, spray it all over the hair, and then hit it with the blow dryer. This is gonna kind of change the fabric of the hair, make it bounce up, and also take the curl better so that I'm not fighting against myself later. This is like the exact product you want to use when the bridesmaid says, my hair doesn't hold a curl. Well, it will now. So my tip to stylists is use more than you think and just make sure you get it really dry in the hair before you move on to the next step. So that's what I would prep if the hair is too clean, a little bit limp, or if they fight with curl not lasting. So that's the Boosta Spray. This always goes with me. This is like a non-negotiable. On Fashion Week as well. Okay, so the opposite. They didn't wash their hair. They said, oh, I saw on Instagram dirty hair's better. And you're like, no, not really. You can go in with the You Dry Clear. This is my favorite dry shampoo because it's weightless and it doesn't leave any residue on the hair. So I like to go through section by section, put it in, and then almost like rub it in like a shampoo, and then hit it with the blow dryer a little bit. It'll absorb any of the oils, and then you'll be prepared to start your style. I don't prefer dirty hair for updos at all. I mean, unless you're gonna slick it back, you're just gonna be working against yourself if you start out that way. So prepping, dry shampoo, Boosta Volume Spray. If anybody has any questions about those two, feel free to hit us up. Okay, so then I'm just gonna run through these like in no particular order so we can just kind of get to what's in actually my kit as well. So Smooth and Shine, this product is great for smoothing out any frizz. If I am blow drying, I can put a little bit in when it's wet and it's gonna help the round brush glide through. Any sleek styles, this will be a go-to for that. It puts incredible shine on the hair and then eliminates frizz. So this is great for that. Silky Smooth, this is also a must-have product. This is perfect for the client that comes in and has like really frizzy hair and then they show you a super sleek style. If you spray this all over the hair and then flat iron it through, it's gonna completely change the hair and make it like sleek and shiny, and it really is gonna ease the smoothing process, whether you're having to re-round brush it or flat iron it. So I guess this could also be considered a prepping product. So someone with like curly, dry, frizzy hair, you spray this on, round brush, flat iron, and it's gonna do exactly what it says. It's gonna make it silky, smooth hair. Texturizer, I mean, obviously this is a must-have for me. So if somebody wants like curls like what I have, or any kind of waves with texture, this is a go-to. For those that you that haven't seen it, I'll just go ahead and show you what it can do. So you shake it up really good. I like to kind of pull the hair apart so that it really gets in there, and then just kind of spray it all over. Work it into the hair. And you can see what a difference it makes from side to side just with like one little spray. So this is a go-to finishing product for me for weddings. Okay. Expand a volume and Session Max spray. These two products used together can make a really good shiny slick back. So I would say these are more specialty, maybe not always in my bridal kit, but these two together can make the perfect slick back pony with incredible shine. I can also do that with Smooth and Shine, but it isn't gonna hold as well. So you put the Expand a Volume on wet, blow dry it in the hair, and then you finish with Session Max spray and blow dry that into the hair, and it really slicks it back and makes it like glass. One tip about the Session Max spray, which you've heard me say before, but it's the only hairspray that has the black lid. So if you see this, you know it's like the strongest of the strong. You only want to use it for like complete finishing. You don't want to have to comb this out of the hair. But if you find yourself in a bind where you sprayed this on the hair and now the bangs aren't, you know, moving like you want them to or whatever, you can go in with glossing spray. And if you spray this on top, it's really great at breaking the product back out of the hair without making it greasy. We doing good? I feel like I'm like, bloop. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. So this is the glossing spray, like I just said, really good if you need to break down some product, or if a bride or bridesmaid changes their mind. This is great for doing that without leaving a whole bunch of flakes on the hair. It's also great for adding some shine to the hair without weighing it down. I also use it as a thermal protectant in the salon and also when I'm doing brides. So you could spray this on every section before you flat iron it, or even before you use a curling iron. If their hair's really unruly, I still would use this. But if it's like not so bad and you just wanted to have a really good dry gloss, then I would use this one. 7 seconds. I know this is not like a typical product that people put in their bridal kit, but I always do because almost every wedding I've done, somebody's asked me to like trim their bangs, or their bangs are all crazy and I need to re-round brush it. I prefer to use this over water. Although I do bring a water bottle in my kit, I feel like this is kind of like, gives it a little bit more moisture before I'm doing anything like that. And on guys' hair, it really like adds the nutrients in before I style it. So that's 7 seconds spray. Max Control Spray is my go-to hairspray for event styling. I like it because it's flake free. It says stronghold, which it is, but it doesn't feel stronghold. So you're not going to feel a bunch of crunch or anything like that on the hair. It's perfect for spraying each section before you curl it. Yeah, so this is my go-to hairspray just across the board, but for sure for weddings, fashion weeks, anything like that, styling on set. So that's that. And then Expanded Dust. I mostly use this for braiding. So any of the big fat braiding that you see like for bridesmaids, I use this product. I rarely put it in for volume because the texturizer just has, I have more control when I use that. But this definitely could be used for that too. So if someone's doing an extreme poof, I would use this. Also for attaching extensions, I like to put it on the hair before I put the clip-ins in. It just gives it a little more like grip so that the extensions aren't going to slip out. So that's the Expanded Dust. You do want to be careful with this though. You don't want to like have it explode on a bride's hair or anything like that. So there is different techniques for putting it in. You can obviously like poof it like that, but that's kind of risky. So for weddings in particular, I tend to do it more like salt on my food. Just have a little bit more control, but personal preference. I think every hairdresser has like a what went wrong with this story with application, like, oh, now the bride's got all this hair, but it's definitely, you can comb it out and all that stuff, but I just think if you switch the application technique, you're never gonna have an issue with it at all. And then last but not least is second day. I use this similar to what I would do with the Smooth and Shine. This product is great for smoothing out ends, for making hair look like it was not brand new and styled. So specifically for a wedding, again, you can use it for smoothing hair, slicking it back, adding some texture to curls, or smoothing out the ends. This is just, oh, and for men's hair too, like if I get stuck doing a groom or something like that, I can easily use this product for that. So it's just easy to travel with. It works really good for multitude of things. So that's the second day spray, or second day cream. How is that?
Super
good?
speedy.
Okay, any questions out there before I move on?
Nothing yet. So
Okay,
we'll
perfect.
jump into it.
Okay, so this is my bridal kit. And it's also my studio kit. It's also my fashion week kit. I am a creature of habit, so I love all the same things. So I think I'll just kind of run through it. I always pack a heat mat and an extension cord, which I don't have here. These are really important because you never, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You never know what kind of situation you're going to be in, and you'd hate to be ruining someone's like dresser with your hot iron. So I think traveling with a heat mat is great. I also think a fun little hack is you can wrap your hot iron in it so that you can leave the venue quicker, even if your tools aren't cooled off. Are we okay?
You're good. Yeah,
okay.
keep on going.
Okay, and then of course, flat iron. I still use my Unite flat iron. So there's that. Triple waver. Some of the like wet waves have been big recently, and the easiest way to get those waves is with the triple barrel iron and then some Smooth and Shine over top. These two are my newest must-haves, I'd say, in the last year or so. It's got a longer barrel on the iron, so someone with like really long hair, I can get through their hair like way quick. So these are long barrel irons. And also a new obsession of mine is irons that have interchangeable attachments. So it makes it really easy to travel with, because I obviously travel a lot doing hair. So these would be like the wand attachments that can go on that. And this curling iron has its attachments. So rather than having to travel with 8 irons, I can do it with 2. And you can see that this one has the large barrel on it. This is also a new must-have for me. This will replicate a blowout on someone for a wedding. So if I am not gonna round brush their hair, I mean, obviously if I spray it with Boosta, round brush it, then I can hit it with this iron, and then, you know, follow up with some, I feel like you can't see me, follow up with some Velcro rollers. That will set it in, and then when you take it out, it's gonna look like a blowout. So 1.5 to 2-inch barrel irons, a new must-have. I'm starting to notice a shift, at least in bridesmaids' hair, going more towards bouncy waves and updos versus beach waves and textured hair. So it's good to be prepared for all options, because the styles change slow, so you just never know what kind of bridesmaid you're gonna get. So yeah, that's that. And then, I mean, you can't go wrong with a Marcel. I can do just about any kind of curl with this, whether I'm wrapping it, need to get really close to the base. So I love my Marcel iron. And then Brushes, I would say, is the hardest thing for me to kind of condense down because you really only have one bag. But Unite made these bags a while ago, which I loved because you could throw all your brushes in there and then all your combs and clips go in a piece underneath. So this was like the best bag ever. Yeah, so I always have some sort of a wet brush, a Denman brush, or not a Denman brush, what is this called? A Mason Pearson brush. This is my favorite finishing brush that Gary always tries to steal from me, but it's mine. I don't even know what this brush is called. It's definitely a finishing brush, but all the guys had it on Fashion Week, so I had to get it. I like that it has like these little teeth on the side. It's really good for detailing ponies, and then you can see it's kind of curved. So it like matches the head shape really good for slick backs. Great. And then every size of round brush, from adding volume to styling bangs or short hair. So I travel with those. And then I would love to do a full every size of a boar bristle brush, but it's just not practical with carrying everything else. So I just have a medium size one. This is what I use on someone who has natural curly frizzy hair that I really need to smooth it out quickly. And they want that kind of soft look. This is perfect for that, especially people who have like really curly hair around the hairline. I love a boar bristle brush for that. What do I have over here? A lot of times you need to be hands-free. So, you know, different kinds of aprons or whatever you can do. If you're working Fashion Week and you're gonna go run the line, it's nice to have stuff that's quick and accessible. Same with weddings. I prefer to always do weddings with my assistant. So she'll prep the hair. She knows exactly how to curl it, and then I can just run over and finish it. So sometimes that means I'm in one room and she's in another room. So having a tool belt is great because I can just like pack it up really quick and run all around. Same with when we do photo shoots here. So I think I probably have like 10 of these. I still haven't found one that's like my ultimate favorite. So if anybody has one, please let me know. But I don't like it too small and then too big. So I'm still narrowing this down, but tool belt must have. I always bring extra elastic and then a pair of scissors for cutting it. So we don't want any rubber bands popping on the bride's big day. So we always use cording instead of elastic. And this was that bottom half that I was saying of the brush bag. So in here is just like my clips, picks, combs, scissors, little like edging brushes. That all goes in there. And then my favorite little magnetic bracelet. So you just wear this on your wrist. And then you can just put pins on it. Again, anything I can do to make it more hands-free for running around is great with me. So this thing was a great must-have, and you could tell I used it because it's got hairspray and everything else, even though I'm cleaning it. If there's room, I always like, this is like my bag of fun. It's got like colored bobby pins, bows. I have a little bridal bag in there with accessories. So this is kind of like if I just want to add something extra, if I'm inspired or somebody wants something, I have that. Like I said, a water bottle. I travel with mine empty so that there's no mess. I can always fill it up there. And then these strips are great for like, you get done with the makeup, or I mean, sorry, you get done with the hair and they're running off to makeup and you don't want them touching their hair. You can just like attach these with some creaseless clips and it'll hold your style into place. But on a wedding, more importantly, it keeps their hands out of their hair. So I love these for that. And then I'm not going to go through all this, but I have creaseless clips, clips for holding in curls, single prong clips, every kind of bobby pin you can imagine. And then lately I've been buying these little kits they just kind of have a small amount of everything. So thicker elastic, there's a hairnet, smaller elastics, bobby pins of all different colors and clips. This is great because it fits right into my tool belt. And when I'm running around, like, oh, I've got that. I don't have to carry all this. So this has been great.
Trace chiming in, says hello.
Hi, Trace.
And session kit essentials, question mark. So that's part of it, right? But it's mostly bridal focused.
Yeah, so we're doing bridal focus today, but this basically is the same kit I use for session work. I mean, obviously, depending on where I'm going and what the situation is, this is if I need to pack it in one bag. So, I mean, there's a bunch of other things that I would bring if, you know, I'm driving or whatever. Like even right now, we're gonna do a bunch of videos. I have stuff in my car just in case, you know, I wanna go grab it. But especially when we're in New York, Trace will tell you, we are running all around everywhere. So I just definitely try to condense it to one bag. So this is my essentials for that too. And that's changing. I'm sure Trace, you know too, as I've done more fashion weeks, I know what's like really mandatory. So I still bring everything because you never know, but I'll have like little bags like this inside of the big kit so that I could just run and grab whatever I need on the go. So aside from all of this stuff, the only other thing is I always bring clip-in extensions. Preferably the bride buys them ahead of time. But yeah, this is like having some kind of clip-in extension is kind of a must for all my brides because it just elevates the look. So you're gonna pay for a hairdresser to come do your hair. You want it to stay. For me, extensions are like, you need that to do that, especially if you're doing glam waves or anything like that. So various colors of clip-in extensions are great. And then I have a little bag of social media content creation stuff, like a little traveling tripod, a light, and a microphone. I wish I was better at setting that up every time, but I've kind of condensed it down to the stuff I love, and that is like a great must-have because it's easy to, you know, just set up as you go. Yes. How are we on time, Mike?
Pretty good. We're about toward the end of this.
Okay, good.
Sophia would like to know where they can find the bags. We may have some of those brush bags available online if you go to unitehair.com and check out the shop. So just go ahead and check out the website. We might have a few left over.
Yeah, I feel like those are, I've had them for years now. Yeah, I did see a couple on there, so maybe they still have them. If not, like any big bag is great for the brushes to go in. Like even one of these is good. And then I do know that there's other brands that sell just like the comb and clip bag separately. So I'll see what I can find and maybe I'll link up some options of where to buy all this stuff. But yeah, this bag was great. I'll follow up on the answer to that.
So how much of it, like, you're doing a test when you have a bride, right? And trying to figure out what the look's gonna be. How much does that change day of? Like, how often is it for them to go?
Yeah, so for my brides, since I work behind the chair at a salon, I like them to come in. And I think I've mentioned this on a live before, but in case you guys missed it, I don't do precise trial runs unless they insist. So I prefer like, okay, and most of the time when brides come in, they have like 3 different looks. They're like, oh, I think I want this, maybe I want this, you know, or maybe this. So we kind of go through each look, which is doable as a hairdresser as long as you're not spraying like Session Max spray or making it perfect. Also, just like our own hair, it changes every day. And if I'm like, I'm gonna create this masterpiece, like that's too much pressure to create the exact same thing day of. And then they're showing me pictures like, you did this, and it's supposed to just be like an idea. So I always tell my brides, like, when you try on your dress, do you find yourself like pulling your hair up? If that's what you're doing, then you probably want an updo. If your hair's up and you're pulling it, you know, down, then that probably means you feel better with your, you know, hair down. So all of those things kind of go into it. So I feel like My trial run is more fluid, I guess is the word. Did I answer
Just
the
kind
question?
of trying to get to know the bride more so.
Totally,
than the hairstyle.
yeah. Yeah, and luckily, most of my brides are people I know. It is a little bit different when it's a bride you've never met before, but even more reason why they come into the salon, we do a whole thing, so I kind of get an idea of what they want. That way I can also suggest like, hey, you need to buy some extensions, you know, all that kind of stuff. I can cut and color them to match their hair, you know, whatever.
So you really do have to be ready for everything, even though you've already had a consultation.
Yeah, well, the bride is squared away, so I feel like it's the bridesmaids that get a little, I mean, I've had a couple brides through the year. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. So I've had a couple brides that get a little bit, you know, change at the last minute, but that's just what we deal with as hairdressers all the time anyways, right? So you have to just roll with it.
Yeah, Trace has an interesting tidbit here. He said a small sewing kit has become essential
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's had to sew shoulder straps back on.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. I think I have some needles in here, like, but we even used that, Trace, we even used that. There was this backstage, I'm gonna add that to my kit. That's a good point. So as hair accessories become big, you've got to figure out how to attach them to the hair. So this last show that we did, there was this awesome slick back ponytail, and then there was like a beaded piece that went from up here all the way down the ponytail. If you look at our feed, I'm sure it's on there. But we had to figure out how to attach this. So we did a little hidden braid, and then we actually sewed that piece into the braid with like extension thread and a curved extension needle. So yeah, that's a really good point. I need to add that. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for my bridal kit, which is also my everything kit and my favorite products. As always, if you have any questions about anything, like if you're watching this later, you can DM me, you can comment on the video. It will stay up on Unite Hair TV, as well as
It goes on the YouTube.
on the YouTube and our website, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram, website, and YouTube. Yes.
And then our next live is going to be with Gary Baker on Wednesday. So that's a date change. So Wednesday, November 20th at 10 a.m. So be sure and tune in for that.
Tracy's a big fan. He says you're too cool. I love it.
Oh, he's my favorite. Yes. See you soon, Trace. Okay, that's it. Everybody have a great week.